Welcome back, everyone. It's so good to be here with you. Now, dreams are amazing. Who here is not fascinated with dreams? I mean, come on, dreams are your subconscious mind's ability to speak about your situation, about your life, trying to give you messages. Some people believe that dreams are God's way of communicating with you even. This is especially true when you're dealing with toxic narcissistic people, or if you're in a toxic relationship dynamic. Oftentimes, there's powerful, profound messages being sent to you through your dreams. Now, the problem is that we oftentimes don't pay attention to our dreams. We wake up in the morning, go get that coffee, head off to work, and before you know it, the dream's gone. It's like they evaporate out of your mind. I've had to spend time with my own dreams, oftentimes writing them down as soon as I would wake up in the morning, and then spend time trying to interpret my own dreams. And I feel as though I've gotten a pretty good grip on interpreting dreams because a lot of them made sense in my own life. And what's fascinating, the reason I'm bringing this up is because a female friend of mine on Instagram just sent me a message this morning. It showed up saying, "Kevin, you were in my dream last night." Whew, how exciting is that? Right? I said, "Wow, okay, I hope it was good." And she said, "Yeah, it was good." I said, "Okay, well, let's hear about it." And so she DM'd me this dream, and I'm going to read the dream and interpret it for you because I think it's a very interesting dream. By the way, if you like this dream interpretation and you follow me on Instagram at @JoinTheRoyalWe, you're welcome to send me a DM of your dream, whether I'm in it or not, and I will do my best to interpret it for you. So let's get into this. Cue the dream music. I've got my little dream music maker right here. Is that too loud? Hopefully it's not too loud. I'm going to be playing some dream music while I'm doing this. All right, here we go. Let's get into this dream. Kevin, you and I were in a nice big house with like fairy lights around a big open window. I ended up at this house with you after I had been somewhere with a female friend and a fire broke out. And that whole place went up in flames. Not where you and I were. I was with you after that, and it was at night. The energy felt really nice, kind of intimate, open, loving, but not sexual. Well, darn, that's less exciting. No, on a side note, you gentlemen, I'll tell you what, if you are with a woman in your life and she's having dreams of you, but she says, but they're not sexual, I think you've been friend zoned. No, I don't know. I'm just making that up, but it seems to make sense to me. Let's continue on. Cue the dream music. So the energy felt like really nice, kind of intimate, open, loving, but not sexual. Yet then I woke up. I remember there was a fire in the fireplace, kind of Christmassy feel in that house. All right, there's all kinds of stuff going on here in this dream, and I'm looking forward to diving in. I think the first place to start, we're going to reverse the order here. We're going to go back to the beginning part of this dream where she says that she was in what seemed to be a burning house with a female friend of hers. I feel as though the burning house, anytime there's fire, flames, that represents chaos. It represents something that's big and massive and outside of your control. That's often what fire in your dreams represents, especially an uncontrolled, raging fire. If you're in a home that's on fire, it means that your safety feels like you have no control in it. Where you're supposed to feel safe, it actually feels out of control. That's being represented by being in that home with the burning flames. The home is on fire, right? So in this place where you should feel safe, you feel like you actually don't really have any control, and that's a scary thing. Now let's talk about the female friend. I was thinking about this. Who does that female friend represent? Because you're in a home with a female friend as this house is on fire. Perhaps that female friend could represent a relationship. It could be a specific girl. Maybe it could be a specific guy. It doesn't have to be a relationship that's being represented that makes it so that you don't feel like you have any control in the situation. I believe it actually speaks to your approach in that environment. So wherever this environment is, where the flames are engulfing this environment, where you feel like you have no control, I believe the female friend represents your approach in that situation. It represents a femininity. It represents a passive approach. I feel as though you're in a situation or you're in an environment where you are trying to present yourself with a passive approach, with a tenderness, with a kindness, with a certain amount of love, with this femininity, with this divine femininity. You're showing up and it's not working. There's chaos all around you. So essentially, in this environment, you are approaching it with femininity and passivity. You're not being masculine. You're not speaking your wants. You're not speaking your needs. You're not commanding. You're not demanding. You're not speaking your minds. And as a consequence of this, you're watching this burn. You feel like it's out of control and it's overwhelming and this home is burning down. That's what I feel is represented by that part of the dream. Now, let's fast forward. The other part of the dream is now with you, with me in a home, and it's beautiful and it's calm and it's peaceful and it's serene and there's fairy lights on the windows. It's not sexual, but it's intimate, it's warm, and there's some things that I want to pay attention to on this part of the dream. You made it a point at the end of it to say that there was a fire in the fireplace and that stood out to you. So I believe that the fire in the fireplace represents a controlled version of the fire. It's taking the chaos of what you are in because of your feminine approach, and you're the out of control relationship or the out of control environment, and it's bringing it into a controlled space. Now, I believe this could be because perhaps you've watched my videos on YouTube and you feel as though I speak into your situation, and I've taken these massive uncontrolled things that you've been looking at, and I've been able to condense it and bring it down into a little controlled fire that you can understand in your life. And so to that, I say thank you. Thank you for watching my videos, and I'm glad that my videos have reached you. But I believe that's what you're seeing when you are thinking of me in the dream. You're seeing me as being able to look at that big fire, the out of control fire, the home that's burning down, and actually condense it down into a small fire in a fireplace that's controllable. And I'm there with you, and we're enjoying the small fire. It's not so out of control. We're enjoying a little fire as opposed to you being with your feminine friend or passiveness friend where you're not speaking up for yourself and it's an out of control fire. So I represent speaking up for yourself and controlling the fire. You represent your female friend that is in the other part of your dream represents you and your passive approach in life where things are out of control. So I feel like that's what's taking place. And I feel like you're longing to step into this masculine, either through meeting somebody, maybe through companionship, or perhaps you're just viewing me as somebody who can speak up, somebody who can be more punchy, somebody who doesn't necessarily just take a passive feminine approach. So you're longing for that so that you can, in fact, look at this fire as just a small fireplace fire instead of a house burning down. You're looking at that as an ability. You're longing for that ability. You're longing to step up. And I truly believe that's what this dream is really a message to you for. And I encourage you in this. I encourage you to be able to start to begin to take a more aggressive approach, whatever your situation is. And I don't know what your situation is right now, but right now your subconscious mind is calling for you to take a masculine, aggressive approach at either speaking up for what you want, making the changes that you want to see being made, right? Being able to create that safe place, right? That's what was represented by being with me. You realize that with that approach, being aggressive, being unafraid to say what you need to say, do what you need to do, that's going to take the out of control fire that you're experiencing through passiveness, and it's going to bring it into a controlled environment that you can decorate however you want. You can put the fairy lights up. You can live the existence and the life and pursue the things that you want to pursue, and you can sit down by a nice warm little fire under your control. That's exactly, to me, how I would interpret this dream. And so thank you for messaging me on my Instagram, sending me a message of your dream. I hope that this interpretation meets you right where you're at. To me, again, to wrap it up, it's an indication of you being in your femininity, but not staying in a place of passiveness because it's allowing chaos to overwhelm you. Step into a place of masculinity. Be able to be more punchy and aggressive with what you want, and you'll see the fire slowly go down into a small little fire that you can actually enjoy. And by the way, folks, we all have fires in our life, right? Listen, I've got some fires that seem out of control at times. And no matter how punchy and aggressive and assertive and confident I sound, I guarantee you there's moments in my life where, yes, I have, it seems like my house is on fire, right? So don't be hard on yourself if you are in an environment and it seems out of control. It's about not being passive all the time in your relationship. Step into assertiveness, step into that bit of aggression, be able to speak what you want with confidence, go after those things, and those fires will come down into something that you can control. If you like this interpretation of this dream, then I encourage you, send me your dreams. It's a great way to understand what your subconscious mind is trying to speak to you, especially those of you who are dealing with toxic relationships, maybe work environments, family environments, or a dating relationship. Jot it down in the morning. First thing when you wake up, write your dream down, even if it's in bits and pieces. And if you would like an interpretation of it, send it to me. DM me on Instagram at @JoinTheRoyalWe. I have no problem reading it here. Let me know if you like this, if you want me to do more of these, and I'll be back. Cue the music. Let me know what you think of the dream sequence music here. I'll be back with more videos for you right here on The Royal We. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification so you don't miss any future Royal We content. And I'll be back right here on The Royal We. Dream music. Dream music. Yeah. Dream music.